Welcome to Housing Circles, thoughtful expertise for evolving communities. Let's begin.
In redevelopment, the real risk doesn't start when bulldozers arrive or construction begins. It starts the exact moment you sign the redevelopment agreement. Under the Maharashtra Ownership Flats Act, or MOFA, that document is a legally binding contract. From the day it is executed, it serves as the absolute blueprint governing every single action the developer takes and every right your society has. To evaluate your project properly, you need three things right now: a copy of your draft redevelopment agreement, the list of benefits you expect to receive, and a notepad. When reviewing proposals, societies often focus entirely on the extra square footage, the corpus fund, or the additional amenities. But prioritizing those items ignores how the contract actually enforces their delivery. In this tutorial, we will construct a 6-point ironclad contract checklist. By the end, you will be able to look at your draft agreement and immediately spot the loopholes. Because until a tightly structured contract legally compels the developer to execute the work, every promised benefit is entirely fictional. Step 1 focuses on timelines. Most draft agreements state a total project duration, typically a flat 36 months. Relying on a single deadline 3 years in the future makes it impossible to track progress today. If the builder falls 6 months behind during the initial approval stage, you have no legal basis to intervene. This diagram shows how we solve that. You must mandate specific, broken-down milestones in the contract. Split that total block into clear segments for approval timelines, structural construction phases, and final completion stages. Now let's move to step 2, which covers the transit accommodation and rent clause. This is typically the most sensitive part of the transition. Looking at this checklist of rent variables, you must write 4 specific criteria into your agreement: the exact monthly rent amount, the specific day of the month it must be paid, the mode of payment, and an annual escalation rate, usually 10 to 15%. Without these micro milestones and strict definitions, builder delays become invisible in the short term and immune to penalty in the long term. Step 3 connects directly to those timelines by adding financial consequences. You have to answer a simple question: if the developer misses a milestone, what actually happens? This comparison shows the difference between a weak contract and an enforceable one. Phrasing like "the builder will be liable for delays" is entirely useless. The clause must state an exact daily or monthly rupee penalty amount for the missed deadline. But a penalty clause only functions if the builder actually has the capital to pay it. That brings us to step 4, security mechanisms. As the diagram shifts, you can see the 3 safety nets you must demand. Connect the developer to a bank guarantee, a dedicated escrow structure, and inventory backing, which uses unsold flats as security. These specific mechanisms isolate your project's funding. If the developer's core business runs out of money, your society still has direct access to the capital needed to maintain the site. A penalty clause gives you the right to demand money, but the security mechanism ensures that the money actually exists when the project stalls. For step 5, we have to prepare for the worst-case scenario. If the termination clause is vague, your society falls into the no-escape trap. You end up legally bound to an abandoned, half-built concrete structure for years, unable to hire a new builder. To prevent that, your exit clause must detail the precise trigger for firing the builder, the step-by-step handover process for the site, and the financial settlement required to clear the title. Step 6 is about setting the rules of engagement for disagreements. You need to pre-plan your dispute resolution terms. Your checklist here requires explicitly naming the legal jurisdiction, defining the arbitration forum, and setting strict time limits for the legal resolution. Defining exactly how to fight and how to walk away before construction even begins provides your society with its most powerful leverage. This diagram shows the complete 6-point contract checklist. It shifts into a matrix comparing 2 offers. Builder A offers high benefits but weak security, against Builder B's moderate benefits and ironclad security. Builder B mathematically mitigates risk. High security consistently defeats zero security. You now have the exact tools needed to strip away the legal jargon and safely evaluate your own draft agreement. However, while a perfect agreement manages your risk, it cannot save a project if the developer lacks the actual capacity to build. Next, we will cover exactly how to select the right builder.
Thank you for watching. We trust this added value. Share and subscribe to remain updated, and let us know if there's a topic you'd like us to explore.